So you may hear me say the term flipping the lid often in other videos. What exactly does that mean? Dr. Daniel Siegel, a very famous neurologist, has created the hand model of the brain. And I want to explain it to you because it's going to feature a lot in your parenting. So if you want to think about how the brain develops, when we're still in the womb, we already have our lower brain working. What is the lower brain? So if you want to think about your spine coming up this way, the lower brain is this part of the brain that immediately attaches to your spine. You also have the limbic area right here. So the lower brain, these two act together to have all the feelings, but also to keep your body functioning. So you're talking about things that you don't have to think about. So breathing, digesting, your heart pumping the blood, all of that happens without you having to think about it. That's all regulated or managed by your lower brain, also known as the reptilian brain. The reptilian brain will react to things, particularly big emotions or surprises, in one of three ways. You're either going to fight, you're going to freeze, or you're going to flee. Those are the three possible reactions. Now let's keep looking at the brain. On top of all of these is this cover, also known as the cortex. Now the cortex is the part of the brain that covers the lower brain, and it connects to them all together like that. At the front of the cortex, if you want to think about it in terms of your own head, that would be right here behind this forehead. It's called the frontal lobe. This is the part of your brain that deals with self-regulation, logic, planning, executive function, and reasoning. Now, in terms of the way the brain develops, the lower brain and the limbic area, where a lot of your feelings and memories lie, are all there when you're still in the womb. This part of the brain, particularly the frontal lobe, only comes online, it really only fires around the age of between 5 and 7. And it finishes completion, it continues its developing until it finishes completion somewhere around the age of 25, give or take 3 years. So what does that mean in terms of your parenting, and why do you need to know about this? Here's why. When you get really upset, even as an adult, your lower brain area, particularly the limbic part, will start to heat up and you'll get all stimulated in some way, negative or positive. And what happens is you will then flip your lid. That's where that term comes from. You will lose the connection to the upper part of your brain that is responsible for getting you and keeping you under control. That's the part of your brain that is actually actively thinking and choosing and deciding how to behave. When you've lost that part, you're only reacting. You are not responding. If you want to be able to respond to a situation in a way that you can control, then you need to keep your lid on. When your child is freaking out for whatever reason, like you've given them the wrong plate color and they're 3 years old and they want to have breakfast and you gave them the blue plate instead of the red plate, it's because their lower brain is now being activated and they could be fighting, that's the complaining, about what's happening. Now, we have something in our brain called mirror neurons. And what that means very simply for you is that you're going to meet your child wherever they're at. Your brain is going to want to respond to whatever their brain is putting out. Why do we do that? That's just how the brain functions. So if I smile, your tendency will be to smile back. That's your mirror neurons at work. If I'm grumbly and unhappy, you're probably going to feel like you want to react to that. You'll take that on too. You'll mirror back to me what I am giving you. So if our child is flipping their lid, is it really the best recourse for us to flip our lid too? No. And that's why we talk about self-regulation. We'll talk more about that in the next video.